sell their company to my company or do something for my company. And I've never met somebody who's undervalued their services or their entity.
That is amazing.
That is amazing.
No, they only overestimate what they're worth. And but of course, it's always what they're going to do. That's of great value. So, because one of the ways you can assess value, obviously, is previous performance, right? And that is part of what one arms themselves with when they negotiate. But typically, someone's previous performance will peg them at a certain $1 million a year or whatever. And they're like, but I've got this, this, and this in the hopper, and I know it's going to come, and so I really need $2 million. And I've never once had someone ask for something less than we were prepared to give them.
Did you have?
Does anybody do that?
And I think I'm married to an investment banker, and he says it happens all the time.
Yeah.
But I agree with you mostly.
Yeah.
I think, but I don't know what industry you're talking about. But yeah, I think that M&A thing, I've heard. Yeah, they do that.
Well, it might be also that well, I'm going to say typically, and I'm waiting for the day this is not true, but women will go one round, if that, and capitulate.
Right.
And so if you offer $100,000 for the salary, they'll say, okay. When they haven't investigated the market, they haven't done their research.
That is very true.
Yeah. So you guys do well.
I guess, or not. I would love for someone to come and price themselves lower than I'm prepared to ask them. From a professional standpoint, it would be great. But
So what is the strategy? Is it to ask for more and to negotiate and not to say, okay, I'm going to take that first offer that someone gave me? How do you? This is advice that you're giving to professionals.
So tough.
Your name?
Jessie. I work with Trista. I think that's a really good point, but considering, I guess I'm a year and a half out of college and I remember, I didn't negotiate my contract by any means.
Exactly the point.
But
this is so important.
This is exactly the point.
So since it was my first real job and first salary,
but
yearly, not hourly.
The cost benefit was different for you. It was getting your foot in the door in an industry that you really wanted to be in. It was working with good people in a company that you admired. It was, for instance, there were so many other factors.
Would you like more Kool-Aid?
I think there was. So it was the right value for you, right? Maybe you weren't getting paid, 10 times minimum wage like you wanted to or something, but like you said, there's a lot of things that go into the ask, but this is the point which I think you were making that I was going to make, which is it's really difficult to give people at different levels of their career the same advice because, quite frankly, I know entry-level or second to entry-level people who have tried to negotiate and they have had offers of employment withdrawn. It's because they're not mid-level or senior level. They don't have a track record. They don't have a track record of success. They don't have, and so I would hate to say to a 24-year-old woman, don't take that first offer. You really don't know. I think it's a highly individual issue.
You got to know your
exactly.
market.
What about for the mid or senior level person that doesn't want to do the dance and they're on their number? That's their number. They're not really there to play ping pong with you, and that's where they are, and they walk. And
Know your bottom line.
Does that ever happen?
You could meet it with questions. You can always meet it with questions.
I know, I agree, because then the negotiation power has flipped. But I'm just wondering if that ever happens with candidates that have done their homework and they know their worth and they know their value and what they're bringing, and they're not giving you the hopper story. But your job wearing the company hat is to play the low ball, high ball dance, and there are people at a certain point in their career that don't really care to do the dance anymore, and they don't come in playing a game, they don't come in to buy a used car and low ball, high ball. They're like, this is what I'm looking for, and they mean it. Does that ever happen? Your pause tells me yes.
No, I was just going to say, I've never had an experience where we've made, an offer and someone, or we've said, what are you, typically by the time we've made a senior or mid-level person an offer, we've had a discussion like, well, what are you thinking of, and that kind of thing. And we've never I've never gone out to someone and, you know, either hit their high mark or their mid mark and have them say, okay. They've always asked